Sometimes you stumble upon projects which are hard to describe but easier to show. OmniChain seems to be one of them. But anyway, first I will try to describe what exactly this new project OmniChain is, and then we will try to get it installed locally and play around with it. So OmniChain tries to solve a very interesting problem. The problem is that these large language models are often burdened with too much responsibility. LLMs are expected to work on complex tasks comprised of many smaller tasks without any hardwired guidance or control. These models can be better at this if their sizes are big, if you have thrown a lot of GPU VRAM on them, but it really becomes very hard for smaller LLMs, also for the LLMs which are strained due to the GPU VRAM. One of the solution there is to have an agentic framework, to have multiple smaller agents running around doing a big task after dividing it into smaller chunks and then going about it. But if you have used few of the agentic frameworks like True AI, and there are heaps of them, you would think that there are always you palpable and seemingly very obvious delay when you try to use those multi-agent frameworks. That is where this Omni chain comes in, and the idea behind it is that it allows you to mix and match efficient logic chains and agentic constructs in a single workflow. Or in simple words, what it is trying to do here is the omnichain, I mean, is try to use agents only when they are needed. And then due to this, the LLM speeds through other parts of the process on predefined rails without wasting compute memory and money. So advantage is that you use less GPU VRAM, you get the response back in a lesser time, and hopefully there will be less API calls. So OmniChain takes this smarter approach and exposes a standard API in OpenAI's format, allowing these frameworks to talk to OmniChain, using it as a backend to have your chain further empower the existing framework, even allowing you to integrate new features via OmniChain. It is quite flexible. If you read through its documentation, um, it's not that obvious what exactly it does after just orchestrating these agentic workflows, but still you can augment lot of frameworks like MetaGPT, Crew AI, LangChain, and there are heaps of other with the help of this OmniChain. I already have covered few other projects similar to this, and this seems good too. So let's get right into it and see how can we get it installed locally, and then we will try to play around with it. Now, before I do that, I want to give a huge shout out to our good friends at Massed Compute who have sponsored the VM which I'm going to use for this video, plus the GPU. If you are looking to rent a GPU on affordable prices, I will drop the link to their website in video's description, plus a discount coupon which will give you 50% further discount on an already discounted pricing. So let's me show you my local VM. This is the one which is Ubuntu 22.04, and the GPU which I'm using is this NVIDIA RTX A6000. Okay, and also make sure that you have Conda installed because that keeps everything nice and simple. Let me clear the screen. Also, this seems to be supported by Node.js, so make sure that you have Node and npm installed. If you haven't, let me show you how can you do that. So first update the packages on your local system, such as I'm doing on my Ubuntu system. It will take too long, it's almost done. Then simply type sudo apt install node.js, and it is going to install the node.js here. That is done. And then install the npm by simply doing sudo apt install npm, and that is going to install it on your local system. And that is done. Let me clear the screen, and just to make sure that you can also check out the versions of it by simply doing node-v, and you see that I have the latest version of node installed. Okay, so that is done. Now let's create a conda environment, and then we will start installing this OmniChain. I'm just using OmniChain with conda create command with Python 3.11. So let's wait for it to finish. It will take too long. And that is done. Let's step into that OmniChain environment. You can see it in the bracket here. Let's clear the screen. So these are all the prerequisites which we needed. Next up, we need to git clone the repo of OmniChain, and I will drop the link to it in video's description. So you see that I'm simply git cloning it. That is done. Let's cd to that directory, and now simply use npm install in order to install it. And we already have installed npm. I just showed you. It is installing it, and that is going to take a bit of a time. So let's wait for it to finish. And it took around 30 seconds, and then it has added all of these 715 packages. It's all done. And now in order to start the application, all you need to do is to run this npm run serve, and it is going to start the application on your local system. It has started the application on your local host at port 12538. And if you just want to do the RESTful API, you can also access it on 5002. So let me take you to my Ubuntu GUI, and we will access there on our local host at port 12538. There you go. So you see that it has started that application on the local host, as you can see in the browser address. And there you go. So you can start chatting with it. You can create a chain by just clicking on the plus sign here. Also, if you just click here, it just hides the menu on the left hand side. And then on the top right, you can see a few options there where you can just click on it. You can set your avatars. There is also some sort of help option. The primary concept in this whole OmniChain is of chain, of course. Chains are custom logic workflows that enable you to build with OmniChain. They are made up of nodes that represent actions, decisions, and data all in one flexible package. Let me show you how the chain looks like. So on the top left, if you click on this import button, and then let me go to the GitHub repo of it on my local system, OmniChain one, go to examples, chains, and then let's go with maybe simple agent. So this is how the agent looks like. Now, as I said, the chains are made up of nodes that represent actions, these blue boxes, decisions, and data all in one flexible location. And they are not just for logic and data transformation. These nodes can or chains can also store data and update themselves during execution. Also, it means that you can build chains that remember things, make decisions based on that information, and act accordingly. And a particular node, if I click here, you can delete it, by the way. This primarily is consists of input, control, and output. Now, a node's control are not only used to configure a node's behavior, but they can also act as a data storage for specific nodes. So if I select the node, if I click on this pencil button, so here it tells us what exactly it is doing. So it says on change, restart the running chain, this example, and this is the ID. These are the properties of the nodes. Now there is also a play button which can just start, I believe, the whole workflow of this example JS agent. You can also import further chains. For example, if I click again on import and I just say, okay, simple agent Linux shell. So it has selected this one now. And let me click on play here. I haven't set any LLM. It is just showing me the flow here because we haven't configured any backend LLM at the moment. It is going from here, and then you can also check this one, and then you see there's a chat option at the top. Click here. This one is running, and you can chat with it. I'm more than sure it won't work because I haven't set any LLM. So you just say hi. Please spam the admin. So because we haven't set any LLM at the moment on the backend or any framework. So remember, this OmniChain itself really doesn't do much. You have to configure it with a agentic framework like Crew AI or something like that, so that instead of waiting, this is going to orchestrate all of it. Now, if you want to chat within this framework, then what you need to do is to just go to your local system, make sure that Ollama is installed. If you don't know how to install Ollama, you can try it out, or you can use OpenAI's API key. But for the free version, let me show you the Ollama one. So after you have installed the Ollama, just do Ollama list, and by default it uses this model Llama 3 8 billion instruct Q8. If you don't have it, simply run this command Ollama run Llama 3 8 billion, and it is going to download it on your local system. So I already have downloaded it. So if I go back and show you that interface, just click on chat here, and then it should open the chat. Let me first run this framework, and then we will chat with it. There you go. So now you can chat with it. Hello. And there you go. You see, so you can say that, okay, list all the files in the directory, something like that. And you can also go to that example folder. There you go. So you see, it has listed all the files in that directory where I am at the moment, and these are all the files, and this is the flow. And let's click on chat again. Can you run, and these are all the agents which are running it very quickly. Can you run date command? So let's see if it can run it or not. There you go. So it has run it very nicely from the local system. Agent is doing this by using that model and this OmniChain, and that chain is a Linux agent which we are running at the moment. Okay, you can say that what is the largest file in this directory. There you go. So it has given it that this is the largest file in this directory. How good is that? Okay, and if you want to see the real-time log, if you go to the terminal where we had started that application, you see that it has telling us that it is running the graph, and these are all the commands which we have given it in the text file. So, and then you can also again go back and talk to your Linux system as much as you like. So, and in the at the back end, the agent is running. If you want to stop the agent, just click on this red button here, and it is going to stop it. Similarly, you can just check out this JavaScript agent. You can simply click here on run, and then you can chat with that agent, and you can maybe say, I'm not sure if, just say write me, let's see if it is able to write me without, write me a Python code, and then press enter. It says that I'm a Node.js expert, I cannot write Python code. Okay, I'll say sure, write it in Node.js. Let's see, I've just made a typo. Yeah, let's see, right? I'm just going to say it. Write me a code in Node. Sure. I'm just confusing it. So this is how you can run these agents, and there are plenty of other agents too which have they given us. For example, there is also a vision for API, but of course you would need to load a vision model through Ollama. You can even use Linux shell, which we already sort of saw in the simple agent Linux shell version. So that's it guys for this video. I will be making more videos on it because still very early days of this project, especially how to create our own chains and then how to integrate with different backends. So I think that would require separate videos because already it's a bit prolonged. Let me know what do you think about this. I think good idea, but it would be really good to have more sort of clear documentation around the use cases because that would help a lot. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're already subscribed, then please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.